Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 13th. You have this 8th house card. It says mystery. Of course it does. And you have this South Node card that says the past. Of course. The South Node is in your sign right now, Virgo. And we are in a time of mystery. So it really doesn't surprise me. We are in a really good time to explore mysteries, and sure, we'll take both. Why not? So anything that is mysterious to you might be a good thing to get to the bottom of, or to research or look into. And, I think it would just be really, really good for you to do that. I feel that Virgos are clearing out a ton of stuff from the past. It makes perfect sense to me that you would get a card like that, having the South Node in your sign. So you're probably just literally processing a lot of information right now. You could be having thoughts about why you are the way that you are because of whatever happened during your childhood, or what positive and negative from both sides, right? And so it is kind of like an intense energy, I feel, for Virgo, because the best way I could put it is that you are doing a lot of this processing. I think it's a good thing, obviously. It could lead to a healing. It could lead to you kind of removing limitations or blockages that have been holding you back for a long time, Virgo. So again, this is not necessarily a bad thing at all. You have the World, the Devil, the Sun, and the Queen of Wands wanted to come out together. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could be finding a Capricorn if you're looking for love. The World can be Capricorn. The Devil can be Capricorn. The World can also be some sort of accomplishment. I think you're entering into a time where you feel very driven, to me, Virgo. So it really wouldn't surprise me if, maybe not this second, but over the next year or so, if you become more and more driven, or if you become more and more excited about life, which is good. I feel this is a good thing, and I think it's kind of starting now. Again, are things perfect? No, that's not what I'm trying to say, but I do feel there are just little things that you're getting excited about, ideas, plans, goals, wishes, dreams, all those things. And, this is going to lead to a drive for you, which is good, because I feel you are definitely someone that always gets messages about taking something to the next level. Expressing who you are more authentically is a big theme for Virgo, and the world is how you express yourself to the world. So a lot of you are probably going to be doing things to express yourself in a different way. You have this Devil. The Devil can represent, toxic energy, toxic vibes. I don't really feel too bad about this for you. Sure, maybe there are things that are toxic in your life, but, again, I think you're doing a lot of this, processing of information, and the information you're processing is things that you've been through, the things you want to achieve, the things you haven't yet achieved in life, and you're kind of looking at things that are toxic and probably removing them. You have, the reading is very positive so far overall, and I would say that really you're just probably moving on from things that hold you back. You have this Sun and this Queen of Wands. It's kind of funny when these two come out together, because she has that sunflower, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So, the sunflower is kind of guiding her on her journey, and it points towards love, joy, happiness, peace, good feelings, like the Sun card. The Sun is, of course, the best card in the deck, makes the whole entire reading a little bit more positive. And, I feel that you should be moving towards things that are more authentic. I really, the key word for Virgo, at least for the rest of this year, and probably longer, is authenticity. If you're doing things that you definitely don't want to do, you're probably really going to struggle to do them. If you're doing things that you definitely want to do, then you're probably going to have a very easy time doing them. And, it's funny, because I'm a Pisces. So it's very similar for Pisces, and even yesterday I've been procrastinating a project, but I'm really tired today, because what happened is I was okay, I'll just finally get started on this, and I ended up working on it forever, all day, all night yesterday, right? Because it's I think once you get started, that's what will happen, is that that starting momentum will kind of just push you forward on whatever it is that you're working on, and I would take advantage of that for sure. So let's see what is coming up here. Sorry, I meant to switch, but there we go. Let's see. With the World card, you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, probably seeing your place in the world more clearly. like I said, authenticity is important. I feel you're realizing that if you're not, living the life you want, then maybe you're not feeling authentic. But also, maybe it's been hard to feel what it means to be authentic for you, Virgo, right? And now that you're clear on it, I feel that it could be a little bit easier. It's kind of like I feel that for some of you, some things have been removed from your life that it's almost like the chains have been removed. It's kind of like, it's like some people, I think they let their parents control their life, even if they're like 40 years old, right? They still act as if their parents are like telling them what to do. And so some of you maybe have experienced some removal. This could be like maybe you moved away from home, right? Or maybe you left a job that was controlling or something like that. And, I feel this is what's probably bringing in the clarity. With the devil, yes, you have the strength card. I'll show you here. We have the strength card right next to it. So the strength card represents your inner voice, that lion on the card. And, obviously the devil could be like toxic thoughts, toxic habits, whatever. But she is the one that is controlling the lion. So a lot of you are probably controlling yourself more, your inner voice more, your inner critic more. And that is obviously going to be a very good thing for you, because the more you take control of that, the more in control of yourself you are, the more you will stand out with the strength card. She is doing something crazy. She is sticking her hands in a lion's mouth. And so she's definitely getting attention for what she's doing. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands in the sun. So whenever we have these repeating cards, I personally really like readings that have a bunch of repeating cards, because it kind of says you're on the right path. It's kind of like confirmation for what you are doing at this moment, and just says you're on the right path. You're doing the right things that you need to be doing to get to where you're going. Now, the other thing about the Queen of Wands is like seduction. What the weird message that I'm getting here though for you, Virgo, is that it's like, maybe some of you, I'm not saying that you're afraid of being authentic, but maybe you're afraid that people won't respond to you, like respond to what you're saying or to what you're doing in life. And, I feel like this is saying like, no, actually you are going to find out that you are more attractive when you are kind of like sharing your thoughts or speaking up or speaking out or, creating your projects or whatever. And I'm not necessarily talking about love here. There is a little bit of love in this reading, but I'm more talking about just attracting the right people to you. Especially in like work or business, obviously that would be important. So I feel a lot of you, it's like that's what you don't realize with this Queen of Wands energy, and I would definitely take advantage of it. Just along the same lines, we have to be messy with the Queen of Wands. She has this black cat right here. The black cat, during the times of tarot, black cats were considered unlucky, but the whole point of the card is that she doesn't care. She just likes the black cat, so she has it. So again, this is about being uniquely you in the world, which is definitely a theme for you here, Virgo. And not caring what people think, right? Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Wish Upon a Star card and this Roots of Abundance card. Definitely a good time to manifest wishes and dreams for you, Virgo. It's going to require you to add up everything you've done in the past, which I've said to you before. The way I see things for Virgo, and again, I don't know. It's like I just see things in my head that I just feel apply to certain signs. And like for you, it's like I feel like you are, and I've probably said this to you before, that you are like adding up all these little things that you've learned in life. Or it's like maybe you've had different skills. You've probably had multiple careers or, done multiple jobs. It's like all those things are coming together and adding up to something. I wish I had a better example for you. I really don't. But, again, I think all your skills, it's like everything is coming together. You're connecting all those dots. And you're finally seeing like, oh, okay, I see why I had to go through these things and, do this, that, and the other thing in my life, because it got me to this point, right? I wouldn't really say this is a finish line reading, although you have the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is a finish line card. So it's almost like you're crossing that finish line. Everything's making sense, or at least maybe everything's starting to make sense. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Page of Pentacles, again, in the area of what's coming in for you. The Six of Pentacles is you understanding what to give to. He is giving to this person, not this person over here. So he's giving to what gives back to him. And I feel a lot of you are finally understanding like what feeds your soul. You have the King of Cups as well in the same diagonal as the Six of Pentacles. Sometimes I think the King of Cups is kind of like feeding your soul. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean. He has very deep emotions. He's explored his emotions, but he's feeding his soul with positive emotions, right? And so I feel a lot of you, but this is like bigger picture. I think you're looking at everything you do. in your life, people you spend time with, what you spend the most time on, things you invest in, all that stuff, right? And you're saying like, okay, these things give me energy, these things don't. And I just feel plain and simple, you're investing in things that give to you, which is great. I definitely love this energy for you here, Virgo. Same thing with the strength card. She is, again, taming this lion. This is something that she has to do every single day. I always say, the strength card is a really good card for having some sort of daily practice because, again, she has to do what she's doing every day of her life. It's not something that she can necessarily stop. So she has to tell the voice in the back of her head to be quiet. The voice that says that she can't do something or that she can't accomplish something. She is ultimately the one that is taking control. And so I feel for a lot of you that you have to do that, right? And that's what this card is saying. It's like you're taking control of your maybe your emotions, but I feel it's more your words that you're taking control of so that you can accomplish more or do more in life. I feel this will be something that is, kind of making you stand out. I also get this feeling from the world in the strength card that it's like, and the devil as well. I feel like you're seeing things where you know what to do. It's like if someone had a problem, they could come to you and you could tell them how to solve the problem. But maybe you have the problem. And again, I'm not calling you out here. I'm just saying there might be like parts of your life where it's like you are not living what you know how to do or how to solve the problem, or maybe not even a problem. It's like maybe you know how to be successful, but you're not. And, I feel like but this is good. I know I'm rambling here. Sorry. It's like what's popping into my head is this is good because you are doing it now, the things you know how to do. So, she is putting on a display of strength. So she is doing what she knows she can do. She's living more authentically, like I said earlier. And I feel that's what you're doing here. You have the Page of Pentacles. Page definitely could be new love because you go up to the King of Cups to the Four of Wands. Could be an earth sign, water sign, could be any sign. You always get Scorpio. You have Capricorn here. It could be whatever sign. Who cares? Just find a good person, right? But the Page of Pentacles is usually communication. The Page of Pentacles is also studiousness. I do feel like you're learning a lot, but probably learning a lot about yourself, and that would be just a good thing to do right now. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you only have so much to give, is really what the Five of Pentacles is saying. Five of Pentacles can represent feeling left out in the cold. I always say the Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. The card itself wants you to focus on your strengths. And that's what I would do with the Strength card twice and the Queen of Wands and this card here. Fives have very easy solutions. And so I would focus on, the things that you're good at, the things that you're good at accomplishing and doing. That's how you can kind of come out of the cold here with the Five of Pentacles. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. It really helps me out, by the way. I'm trying to remember to say that. With the Strength card, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, more like believing in yourself. I also feel that you need to believe that the correct environment exists. The thing about the Two of Swords is she might be settling for her environment. She is sitting where she's always been. She's sitting on this marble bench here, and, her ass hurts. She's been sitting here forever. But there's something else over here, this island behind her. And sometimes I feel the Two of Swords is about entering into a new environment. That could literally mean moving. You have the World card here. It could also just be changing your environment, like where you live. You can stay right there, but you could be changing things in your home. You could be changing things in your work environment. You could be building more confidence, which can change your environment, because when you're more confident, you see the world in a different light. And I feel that's what the Two of Swords is encouraging you to do. It's like saying you need to see the world as you want it to be, not necessarily as it is. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. There you go. Yeah, definitely. If you're meeting a person, I feel you could be in kind of like giving to that person. Some people read Six of Pentacles as breadcrumbing, but I don't think this is breadcrumbing. I think this is taking your time. And so if you're meeting a person, you could just be moving a little slower, which is probably a good thing. And, you could just be seeing how things go, like giving a little bit. I always, I think the Six of Pentacles, sometimes they say it's like the tennis match of love where, you hit the ball to their side, you wait for them to hit the ball to your side. It's kind of like a nice little back and forth between the two people. And, sometimes that can be a good way to start something to make sure that someone is also going to be investing in you. So, again, I don't really see that as a problem. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Sweetheart card. It says, in love, sweetness, mutual feelings, devoted, good intentions, innocence, love is in the air, love and affection. There you go. You have this manifestation. It says, manifest your desires, creation, power, resourcefulness, creativity, action, focus, potential, and talent. Yeah, you are very talented here, Virgo, but you have to use those talents. Definitely could be manifesting love. Very nice connection, it looks like. I would also, we are in a very good time for manifestation. Neptune's about to retrograde in the middle of this month into Pisces. Neptune retrograde is good for manifestation. I always tell people with Neptune retrograde, especially in Pisces, I would be going more general. I think I actually said this in the Pisces reading as well, but with that Neptune retrograde, it's better, it's better to say, don't try to manifest $1 million. It's better to say, I am the type of person that manifests endless abundance. That's what I mean. Go more general and broad. And, kind of doing that can help you manifest a lot faster. But again, it is a very good time for manifesting. You have the Four of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Six of Swords. Four of Pentacles is a card of holding on too tightly to the past, although I do feel you are letting go of the past. And the Four of Pentacles is also about trying to protect what you have. But sometimes by doing that, you're preventing yourself from getting something greater in your life. I'm not too worried about this here, Virgo, because the whole reading is kind of saying that you're moving past that type of energy anyway. But, that's basically, what I would say here with this card. And, it's almost like, another good manifesting thing here would be about needing things, right? It's like if you're saying I need money, then you're basically chasing money, right? I feel like working with the Strength card, especially changing your words, and instead of saying I need money, starting to change to I receive money or something like that would probably be very beneficial. You have the King of Cups. I do feel like some of you could be attracting a King of Cups type person. Again, King of Cups are usually very emotionally stable. He's sitting in these choppy waters, but he's perfectly fine. So this is kind of like attracting a rock, a person who is immovable, a person who is very emotionally stable. So like I said, if you're looking for love, this looks good. I think the more important focus for you with this card would be focusing on what feeds your energy. Focus. I don't know. That's the word that popped into my head with the King of Cups earlier, and the Strength card, and even the Queen of Wands. We could argue is a card. She moves towards her desires. She does what fulfills her, and so I feel that on this card that maybe you. But I also feel you've been spending years figuring out what supports you and what feeds your energy and all that other stuff. And I would just do more of it with the King of Cups. I literally feel like that's what he is encouraging. You have the Six of Swords. Kind of funny that the King of Cups is sitting in choppy waters on this card, right? There's these choppy waters around him. And then you have the Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores, leaving the choppy waters behind. So I do feel a lot of you are kind of creating more improvements or focusing on improvements. I feel that some of you are going back to the drawing board. Six of Swords sometimes I feel is like a back to the drawing board type energy, where it's like you're not necessarily starting over. But the woman and the child in this boat here, they have nothing but the clothing on their back. They are completely starting over. They are letting go of their past for the hopes of a brighter future. I don't really feel like you're starting over, but I do feel Virgo is reinventing, which I'm pretty sure I said in your October bonus reading as well. So you might, again, if you've been working on a project for years or a business or your career, it's not like you're going to leave it, but I do feel you are going to change it in some way, or you're going to be, you're connecting those dots. It's like maybe you're finally realizing oh, this is why I went through these experiences so I could do this one thing, right? And that's what I'm talking about here. I hope that makes sense, but that's what I'm getting on the Six of Swords. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, stability. Actually, Four of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles are pretty good together. They both are cards of stability, security, building financial wealth and security. So a lot of you could be doing that. With the King of Pentacles, though, I would definitely encourage bigger risks. He is not a bad card, but sometimes he can play it too safe. So don't be afraid of speaking your mind, things like that, especially in your finances. With the King of Cups, you have the Five of Swords. You could be taking a risk on a person here. So, again, maybe some of you are interested in a person, and it's like you're taking a little bit of a risk to get into the connection. We kind of said this on the Six of Pentacles. It's like you're kind of taking your time. But Five of Swords can be a separation, but really The Five of Swords can just be about taking a risk. With the Six of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, I would definitely move on to those calmer shores. Don't be afraid of going back to the drawing board on something, Virgo. It's like sometimes I think we have to like work on something for a long time to be able to, to like clarify the vision, more or less. And that's what I feel like you're doing here. It's like maybe you've been working on something for a very long time and you're making it more specific or more focused, which is usually a good thing, right? So don't be afraid of like, this could be anything. Could be a business you've been working on. Maybe you've been writing a book or, whatever you're doing. Don't be afraid of like redoing things is what that Ace of Pentacles is saying to me. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Truth card and this Transformation card. Yeah, I mean, you cannot make that up. That's basically what we've been talking about this whole time, is like you're becoming more authentic, living your truth. This is going to lead to some changes or transformations, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I mean, it has been a theme for you for like a couple months maybe. And I would just keep doing what you're doing. You have the Four Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Death card. Four Wands could be marriage. And so if you're looking for love, definitely could be attracting a solid commitment. I kind of feel you're more reaching a finish line. There's like this finish line here. These people have already been married and they're celebrating on the other side. So if you're wrapping something up or completing something, this is a good card of having a celebration on what you're completing in your life. And so, that can be a good thing. I feel like you're getting past a lot of difficulties here. Like I said, are things perfect? Hell no, definitely not. But, are things going to get better between now and probably like March of next year? I would say, hell yes. That's like the time of the improvements. And that doesn't mean you're going to stop after that time. It just means that you're kind of like implementing the improvements until then, and then you're going to keep going after, right? So that's what I feel. You have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I think I said something. I could be wrong. I could be losing my mind right now. But I think I said something too at the beginning of the reading about getting busy or feeling more busy or something. Maybe I'm making that up, but if I didn't say it, I feel like you're going to be more busy at the end of the year here. There's something about balance. You have the Six of Pentacles twice. You have this card. So, a lot of you could be balancing your life out more, giving yourself more time. This, again, I think this is very much like South Node and Virgo, where, if you burn yourself out right now, you're not going to have a good time, right? Neptune and Pisces as well. Neptune and Pisces requires inspiration. Like if we're working on something and we're not excited to do it, we're gonna struggle. But if we're doing something that we are inspired to do, we are going to have endless amounts of energy. So, I feel like that's what the Two of Pentacles is saying. You have the Death card, Transformation. You have that Transformation card. So I feel like you are just going through changes with the Death card. With the Four Wands, what do you know? You have the Page of Pentacles right here. So we go Page of Pentacles up. So definitely could be an Earth sign or someone with Earth in their chart. And it could lead to marriage. Doesn't have to. Just, could lead to a commitment. But definitely a new person coming in for you here. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Cups. Yes, you have divine counterparts right here. King and Queen of Cups. These two are good divine counterparts, but the Queen of Cups can also be about following your heart. The more you invest in things that fulfill you, the more that you kind of, she's holding this star close to her chest on this Wish Upon a Star card. That's probably where the abundance is going to come from for you here, Virgo. With the Death card, you have the Six of Cups. Everything we talked about. I think I said at the beginning of the reading, unless I'm losing my mind. I might be today. We just had that full moon, in Aries, basically last night into today. And so I could be losing my mind. Definitely possible. But, again, I think you could be thinking about things from when you were a child, clearing those things up. You could be clearing, I was talking about those like attachments that, we all have these things. And you clearing that up could set you free. Six of Cups can be a soulmate as well. So if you're looking for love, the Six of Cups looks very good. Sometimes I think the Six of Cups can be like a gift from the universe. Usually the gift we receive is removal of obstacles. So you could be kind of removing obstacles at this time. You have this wall card that says misunderstandings. Yes, we enter into the Mercury retrograde shadow on the 21st of October, and then, which is like next week, the week after the 13th. And then Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th of November. So, I would, between now and then, I would make sure in the end of the month basically goes direct on November 29th, basically the whole month of November. We need to be very clear in our communication. You have this flute. It says disappointment in a friend or a lover. I think this is like past disappointments, devil. And so I would be letting go of those past disappointments or healing them in some way. You have this hills card. It says obstacles to overcome, but they're just hills. They're not mountains. I always say with this card that, we are definitely in a time where if you're going to do something, anything important, you're going to encounter obstacles for sure. We're in a time of obstacles. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But if we overcome those obstacles, it'll be worth it. So I want to encourage you to push past it. You have this January card and this Axe card. It says forces working against you. Again, very common energy until the beginning of the year. We really have to get Neptune and Saturn back into Aries. So that's going to happen by the end of February. That's why I was talking about March with the Two of Pentacles in your reading. But this says January, which is good. So I would just keep pushing. You have this Lion card. It says time to act. Yeah, time for action for sure. I feel you are taking action. You have it could be attracting a Leo for some of you as well. You have the Strength card twice plus, this Lion card. But this looks really good, Virgo. Make sure to leave a comment. Really helps me out. And definitely enjoy your week.